let's talk a little news. Speaking of Jamooks, the biggest Jamook of them all has come out of the woodwork. Haven't heard from this guy in a little while. Colin Kaepernick. For those who don't remember who Colin Kaepernick is, he was a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. He was let go from that job because of certain controversies around him, and has never been put onto another team. So now
for exercising his First Amendment rights. Come on.
Amen.
All right. I hate to be this guy, but the problem is,
saying, how many times you want to hit the T'Challa button tonight, sir? Because you put this in here. So.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to hit the button after I say this. He was a mediocre quarterback who was looking for more money, and or to get signed to be a first stringer or a lead, first string quarterback on a team, because he was the backup on the 49ers. He wasn't getting what he wanted, and that's when he started the whole kneeling thing. Like, I don't disagree with his First Amendment rights, but he was doing it for attention. He got what he deserved. He got let go. He's never been picked up because he is not a good quarterback.
He won a lawsuit and got a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right.
But the reason they used was illegal. So,
but I'm just saying, like, he wasn't doing it because of reasons in his conscience. He was trying to get attention around himself to make money.
And
what are you doing? We don't do that here.
So he's decided now.
Paris Hilton made a video getting fucked. Like, so really? He's okay. You're right. I'm sorry. Sorry, T'Challa. I'll shut up.
So now he's decided he's going to help comic book creators by putting them out of work. He is working with a company. I don't remember their name, and he is raised $4 million to help this company get started, and they're an AI comic book generating company.
This isn't him doing it on purpose. This is just somebody who doesn't know anything about the business and about the effect of AI.
No.
And he's looking at it as
hold on. He actually went to San Diego Comic-Con and talked with independent creators about this and presented it as something completely different than what it was. And then when it launched and they found out that it was a tool to generate AI comics, they were all pissed off, because this has been I am friends with many indie creators, and they are all beyond pissed off at him over this.
Yeah, but do you think he knows what AI is? Like really? Like, it might have, he didn't put this together, right? He's buying into something now that, like, somebody else started this, and he's buying into it because he needs money because of aforementioned reasons. And so now, they probably gave him talking points. He went to San Diego. He gave the talking points, and then, because if he had known what it was and he told them what it really was, he wouldn't have made it out of there alive. Let's be honest.
Well, exactly. I mean, and it's just, it's ridiculous, and it's sad, and it goes to show, I think this is the important takeaway from this story. And we've been doing this show for a long time, and we haven't been approached once or twice to do ads for people. But I think this is the thing. If somebody says, "Oh, would you advertise our product or whatever?" You need to research the product. You need to make sure what you're putting your name in is something good and you stand behind. And I'll agree with you. I don't think he did that, but I mean, he's got a black eye now from this.
Well, yeah. And a lot of celebrities have people that do all of that for him and just hand them scripts and say, we're pushing this now. And, the stars rely on those people to not get him in trouble. In this case, he's hopefully fired the guy who handed him this and told him to get invested. Look at all the people that got invested with Bitcoin and, was it NFTs?
NFTs were the worst.
Yeah.
And they died faster than they showed up.
Yeah.
Ron, you're terrible.
So.
Well, no, hey, Ron, as a football aficionado, and you wouldn't think it because I'm a fucking Omega level nerd, but I actually played football in high school. I like football. But
We
anyway,
all
there's
have
no
our
such
dark
thing-
past on.
there's no such thing as a 5-4 defense. I got to throw that out there. Nice attempt at the joke, sir. Nothing is a 4-4. There's a 4-3. There's a blitz, but yeah, there's no 5-4.
Well, that be that as may, like our best offense and defense against this kind of story is to really for the whole comic industry to really educate people and talk about this a lot, about what AI is, what the problem, the many problems with it are, as a with regards to creators, and really educate people to the point where they know that not to get into stuff like this.
If this was a tool, here's the thing, I would support it if it was a tool for independent artists who have Kickstarters or Indiegogos or any of those crowdfunding websites, where it would take a look at your work and create an ad for you to run on different platforms, or give you a strategy on do this to promote yourself, to get more fans. But that's not what it is,
right?
It's I mean, from my understanding, there's something like that built into it, but the main thing is it will generate books, and it's just well, why would any indie creators support that?
Yeah, and we've talked before about the problems that Amazon is having with AI generated books.
Mm-hmm.
They had to put limits on the number of books you could put up per day from a single author. It's just
that's common sense.
Yeah.
I really am split with this issue. Honestly, I'm struggling because I do support Colin Kaepernick. Dave, please don't hate me.
Just wait. Just watch if you get any pastrami when we're in New York.
Right. Well, I would say we're going to be sleeping in the same room, so I'm cognizant of that. But like Rich Duick, right? He's certainly against this, very strong.
Right.
So I see the artists that are against this, but at the same time, I can't help think two things. To Thrawn's point, again, maybe he just doesn't really know what he did, or I pose this question to anybody. What if there is somebody out there that's they've got a story and they want to get it out there, and the only way they can is if they take this shortcut, this cost-cutting measure of let AI at least generate the images or something. I have a hard time saying somebody coming from nothing has to pay artists when something else that can help boost them. That's all.
But there are programs out there you can take. There's an online program where they teach you how to create comics, the proper steps to take to write a script and the channels to go through, and they'll pair artists and writers together in these programs that are taking this, because they take somebody who's going to write and somebody who's going to do art, put them together, and that's part of their school project, or that while they're learning is to work on this book together. So no, there's ways to do it.
Yeah, but Don has a point. First off, this ain't going away. You fast forward 50 years from now, and as long as global warming hasn't wiped us off the face of the planet by then, this is the exact scenario that Don laid out is something that is viable. The thing that we're really struggling with right now is that the AIs use these large language models that have to be trained on something, and where those LLMs are getting their training is from existing people's work, and there isn't enough randomization in it right now for you to be able to claim that something you describe to it is all your work, because the stuff that it generates is literally traceable back to the original artist.
And I have seen people who have taken AI art and has found the original pieces used to generate it, and look, you can see this here and this here and this here, and it was
and I say again, sometimes they can even see the original signatures of the artists, because they were so once they figure a way, and I'm not smart enough to even kind of suggest what that way would be. But once they figure out a way to make it so that it is truly randomized, I mean, it has to be trained, but at least, maybe they have to give it what kind of art they want, and and maybe, I don't know, something that makes it the person who's describing it, the person who's writing the script for it.
Yeah.
It is something that, again, as Don said, would be enabling for people who have a story and don't do art, or are really good artists, but want some, like, I know a lot of people are now using it to get prompts. They'll give it a couple of short lines of suggestions, and it pops out a couple of different stories, and they'll use that as prompts going when they're on a slump or something. And I think that's perfectly okay, as long as they're not getting prompts directly from somebody else's book, So
Oh
it's
yeah,
something
for
that,
sure. Copy and
yeah,
shit. Yeah, no, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm certainly not for that. I'm just, I live 10 minutes away from a very poor city. I came from that city, and I just think of, some poor kid right now sleeping on a mattress on the floor. If they can somehow get elevated because they can use this shortcut, I'm just, I'm there. I just think they need to be upfront and educational about it. You need to know if something was generated by AI. I think that's clear. And obviously I think, I get the artist perspective too. I really do. Like you're saying, you need something done that I can do. I just need to make a living. But sometimes
it's
people can't
true.
afford that.
And even
We're gonna be
worse,
talking about this for the next 5 years. I'm
oh yeah,
telling you.
and even
Yeah.
worse, that artist that is starving and needs people to commission stuff from them, their work was illegally stolen by bots on the web that
Yeah,
are
that's
constantly being
bullshit.
run by
Right.
all of these AI companies. Even when the company says they're not doing it, or the host the website that's
Yeah.
hosting the artist's work says they're not allowing it. This, I don't know, was it? I think it was Reddit now is blocking every bot, including like Google's normal search bots, because of this problem. If a company wants to search Reddit, they now have to pay Reddit for it. And I think that's
Yeah.
going to be something that's probably going to be going forward. Like, we're going to see a lot more of that, because again, like Google and Apple and all these other guys that are creating these AIs, I mean, it's not right that they get to go to like DeviantArt and scan everybody's work, and then Etsy and scan everybody's work, and then make money off of it like that.
And
They're already
boom.
making money off of our private information without our consent.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's time that they started paying the piper.
Hey Hunter.
What's up, Hunter
Well,
Iggy? Yeah. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Hunter.
Thrawn says this is why it's so easy for people to write children's books.
Writing a children's book is one of the hardest things you can ever do, because I've written one.
Bullshit. Okay. Well, okay. I don't want to diminish what you've done.
Wait,
I just imagine if I go smoke a doobie, I could probably, you know what I'm saying?
I think
I
to
don't know.
write a good children's book is difficult.
Good.
It is.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
No, writing a children's book is really hard, because the psychology that you're trying to appeal to is way different than the psychology that's currently running your brain. Well, at least you hope so.
Oh, hell,
But-
no. Absolutely right. No, I get it, because like you look at video games and like what young people like today, they like self-expression. That is
Yeah.
numero uno when it comes to this generation. For me, I play video games for a challenge. It's alien to them these days. They want self-expression. So you're right. When writing a children's book, you really got to get into a mindset that you are not regularly at, easily obtained.
Yeah.
I get it.
Hunter says he prefers the original Batman animated series to the new one.
We're
Don't hate
going-
me on that. We don't hate you, but
Stick
we will be
around.
getting
We'll
to-
talk about it. Right.
Stick it around. We're talking news right now.
Get
And
those super chats ready. Let's go.
yes, let's move on, because we could be talking about AI art all night long. We know that. Thanks for watching this clip from the Superhero Speak podcast. And don't forget to watch us live every Sunday night right here on this channel.
While you're here, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you won't miss out on any of our great upcoming content.
Speaking of content, don't forget to check out our website, superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast, links to our social media, merch, comic reviews, and so much more. That's superheroespeak.com.
Thanks for watching, and don't let your cape be caught in the door. See you next time.